Lucky Boys Podcast.
Jealousy too.
Oh yeah.
Did any other gangs ever try to approach you like, hey, you're gonna give us a cut if you're gonna sell in our area?
Nah. But I did get into fights. Like I remember, but this was like before I started selling to like all the hipsters and shit, when I was just standing on the corner like hustling, on the block. When I was like going to Sewell Park, back in the day, like that high school was like, I don't know how it is right now, but like there was so many gangs in that school and there was so many fights every day in that school, and I was selling weed in that school, so I got into fights because of that too. So it was
because the other kids didn't want you to sell them weed.
Yeah, there was like the Blood Kids, there were the different gangs in there, that was hustling, and we got into arguments and fights, and I didn't fucking stop hustling, and I remember one day, I don't know, I couldn't even sell drugs on my mom's block on Rivington and Eldridge. Like there was one guy that was running the block, and one of his workers came to my block to buy drugs, and then he started dealing with me, like he started dealing for me, and the guy was like, yo, why you dealing with this, one of my guys, blah blah blah. And I'm like, yo, he fucking, he had money, he wanted to deal with me, blah blah blah. And so he bought shit off of me, and so he's like, yo, don't do that shit. I was like, fuck you. So he sucker punched me right on the corner, and this dude was big. Like I'm just a little fucking punk on the street, and he was like 6'2", and I took his legs, dropped them, started punching him, and like I remember his friends like pulled me off his back, and they just held me down while the
big 6'2" guy.
Yeah,
and he started.
I was
it.
5'6",
and he's a grown man.
Yeah, and so I remember I had a little 38, and I went back. A little burner, and I went back to the block to go get it, and then came back, and I was like, let me catch this motherfucker. I was just so angry, like. But a lot of people respected me, a lot of people respected.
So what
me.
happened? Did you catch him? Like,
no, I didn't catch. But then he called me. You remember? There's a barber shop still there, but there was a barber shop on Allen Street, and I remember I'm getting a cut. In the barbershop, I'm in the chair. This guy's like, doing a blade.
Now that's a gangster movie right there.
Yeah, and well, he didn't. The barber was not trying to cut me, but the dude approached me while I was in the barbershop.
Compromising position. Right there.
And I'm like, and he's like, yo, let me talk to you outside. And so I go outside.
The same guy, the big 6'2" guy.
So okay. I go outside. I even had the fucking,
the cloth on
me.
Yeah.
So even if I'm trying to say
he's still got the cream on his face.
Yeah, I couldn't even fucking move. But he approached me, and I knew this guy for years. Like,
wait, did you have your 38 on you?
Nah, I didn't have anything on me, and I knew this guy for years. Like me and him grew up. He's older. He went to school with my sister in Seward.
Okay.
Back in like the early '90s and shit, and his dad, were friends with my dad. So like, he approached me. He's like, yo. Come talk to me. And I go outside the barbershop, and he told me the story with the kid that was, hustling for him, but was now hustling for me. So that guy, sent like dudes from uptown with guns to his parents' house to rob him. And, they almost tied up his family and all this shit. And it was like a whole thing, like he backs. And so he thought I was a part of that whole shit, and I was like, nah, I'm not. You know what I mean? I don't deal like, I'm not grimy like that. Like I wouldn't fuck with it.
Oh, he thought you were part of like the whole breaking and entering.
Yeah, thing. Like
because at one point, Elias, it was big. There was so many little crews doing B&Es.
Yeah, and it was just crazy. But yeah, we squashed it there, and we moved on, and that was it.
Wow, so no gangs ever came up to you? That's crazy.
No,
that's crazy. Because you must have been like famous in that community, right? Because you had the cars, the clothes.
Yeah, everybody was looking at me like I was driving some crazy shit sometimes. I had a fucking crazy M3.
So people knew of your, I guess, reputation. So people knew that you were carrying. So you're protected.
Yeah, but they were also like I don't know, like the dudes on my like mom's block, Stanton, all that shit, like that whole crew over there also like made money with me. Like I was also like doing you know, we were making money, even though we couldn't stand in each other's corners, and like I was not like on their block. Like even though like I was probably standing on the corner one time, but I was not dealing on their corner.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
So there was
they
like
needed
respect,
100 grams here,
yeah.
100 grams there. Like, yo, you know, I'm gonna go get it for you, and you know, I'll make a cut. You got a cut. You know.
So you guys did business indirectly,
exactly.
where they saw you as useful.
Exactly.